Set 'em up, Joe, and play walking the floor.
Welcome to the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree warm-up show here at the Troubadour Theater in Music City, USA. I'm your host for the warm-up show, Marcia Campbell. We had a little extra harmony there on a Set 'em Up, Joe. Our special guest tonight, Mark Wills.
How are you?
That was absolutely fabulous.
Me too. Just walked off the stage at the Opry just a few minutes ago. Had Mae Estes just did her Opry debut tonight, and let's see, the Isaacs were on stage when we left to come over here. So always a fun time when you get to play the Grand Ole Opry.
It is, and tonight, speaking of the Grand Ole Opry, we want to dedicate this show to Melvin Sloan and his family. Along with his brother Ralph Sloan, Melvin Sloan and Ralph Sloan both had 50 years combined for leading the square dance troupe at the Grand Ole Opry.
Which you were a part of.
I am a proud member of the Grand Ole Opry and Grand Ole Opry Square Dancers. Melvin invited me to be a dancer back in the 80s.
Don't date yourself like that.
Hey, I'm proud that I'm still kicking, y'all.
You started as a square dancer last week.
No, growing up backstage at the Opry, really as a teenager. So
I got it.
We send our love, our condolences out to the Sloan family and dedicate this show tonight to Melvin Sloan.
Absolutely.
Well, of course, we are live here in Music City, USA. We're broadcasting from the Troubadour Theater, located in the Music Valley Drive area, 2416 Music Valley Drive in Nashville, Tennessee, here in the great land of the United States of America. So let them hear you in the live audience out here. Let them hear you on the radio. In the audience tonight, we got Radar from Cookeville, Tennessee. We have Barbara from Massachusetts. We have my mama, Jeanette Davis, here from where? Nashville. So Mama Nette's in the house. We have from the Grand Ole Opry Square Dancers, Larry, Pokey, Cheryl Chun. And I just made eye contact with Grand Ole Opry star Miss Jeannie Seeley is in the house.
Yeah.
And Mr. Gene.
Yeah.
And we just met some friends, Mike and Emily from Las Vegas. And Mr. Ron Harmon is in the audience
Ron,
tonight.
how you doing, buddy?
So music brings us together. You're listening all across the world at WSMonline.com, 650 AM WSM, home of the Grand Ole Opry, and home of the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree. So thank you so much for listening. And also make plans to be with us next week. Music City Playboys will be right here performing.
That's awesome.
Leona Williams on March 18th. We have Billy Yates in April on the 29th. And we got some bluegrass music coming in May with the Larry Stevenson Band. So, of course, make plans to come on out. Follow us on our new Facebook page, and that is Midnite Jamboree LLC. Midnite is spelled MIDNITE, Jamboree LLC. So we have a wonderful show for you performing tonight. Grand Ole Opry star Mark Wills, and he did a little extra harmony there with Vern Gosling on Set 'em Up, Joe.
Well, I didn't know I was live. I was just singing the parts, back from the bar days, man. I don't get to sing. That's actually what we planned on doing tonight. So I hope we have some country music fans in here with us tonight, because I figured you could come to the Opry or you could come to a Mark Wills show anywhere and hear our music. So we're going to play about 50% of my stuff, and then just some great old country music tonight. So that's kind of been the plan for the band. And we stole Tommy White out of the Opry House Band to come out and play some steel guitar with us. So if we're gonna incorporate the steel tonight, we got to play some good old steel guitar songs.
Some good stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mark Wills, he's a Georgia boy. So tell me about growing up. Blue Ridge, Georgia?
Blue Ridge, Georgia is my hometown. I live just outside of Atlanta now, which is kind of halfway between Atlanta and Blue Ridge, because I fly a lot. And it's a long way to the airport from Blue Ridge, but I'm up there all the time. That's where my mom and dad still live. That's where all my family still lives. So so that's still home.
So growing up there, did you have a place like the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree or a place, a venue that you could go and
No.
play, square dance, write
No.
songs, showcase your
Nope,
music?
I never. So when I was growing up in Blue Ridge, there was really no nightlife. I didn't start singing. I didn't start singing in like bands until I moved, down to Atlanta, and started singing at some places. I sang at a place north of town at a place called Stonewalls. And I sang, the very first place that I ever sang was a place called the Lonesome Dove.
Oh, nice.
And I won a karaoke contest there at the ripe old age of like 15.
Okay,
or something
but what is your go-to karaoke song?
If I'm having to sing karaoke, I like to throw stuff out that nobody's ever heard me sing before. Like one of my favorite songs to sing karaoke would be like Billy Vera and the Beaters, At This Moment.
Oh, God. I don't even know if they got that in the catalog.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I go in and I like to find something that that's not, which is kind of funny. Like when the first year I was out on the road. Do you remember Thule's Country out in Arizona? Well, they used to do like a karaoke thing, and we were out doing a radio tour back in like 1990. Well, we had done radio tour in 95, 96, so it was like probably 97, 98. And we walked into Thule's Country, and we were with Jeff Garrison from KMLE. And we walk in, we're sitting there for, 10 minutes, and they're like, and up next, singing some karaoke, y'all make welcome Daryl. And I'm sitting there, we're just kind of having a conversation, and Jeff's like, hey, that's you. Go ahead and go up. And I'm like, what? And he's like, that's you. And I'm like, I didn't sign up for karaoke. And he goes, yeah, that's you. And so I get like almost to the stage, and they start playing Places I've Never Been. So I sing Places I've Never Been, and I come off the stage, and this extremely intoxicated lady wheels around on her bar stool, and she goes, you're good, but Mark Wills. And so that was that's my karaoke story.
Well, you're talking about your clubs that you're
Yeah.
getting your experience and
Yeah.
growing those seeds that were planted. So is it family that influenced you? Do you have family that plays?
No, see, we didn't have a family band or anything like that. To the best of my knowledge, my daddy can't carry a tune in a 5-gallon bucket. My mom is that lady that sings in church that everybody looks at like, would somebody tell her to shut up? So nobody in my family sings. And so I don't know where it came from. I can remember being a little kid. I can remember probably being, 3, 4, 5 years old and loving to sing. And feeling like there was a girl that went to our church, and her name was she actually lives here in Nashville. I've not seen her in years, but her name was Andrea, and she was one of the best singers I'd ever heard. She could sing anything, and I can remember being like a 4-year-old little boy and trying to sing the same notes that Andrea as a soprano would sing, and that's kind of how I learned to sing and just fell in love with music then. And I tell the story a lot of times in our show, but I was a 4-year-old that had an orange and white Fisher-Price record player, and I can remember getting a Conway Twitty greatest hits record. And just falling in love with those great songs and stuff like that. And that's sort of the beginning for me for loving country music, and just fell in love with it and really never wanted to do anything else. I mean, people talk about, as they're kids and they start deciding what they want to do is, for a living. And I can, honest to God, remember being the ripe old age of 5 years old and telling my mama that when I grew up, I was going to sing. And the funny thing about it is that at no point did she ever say, well, you should probably have something to fall back on, so therefore I didn't. I just decided I was going to sing, and here we are.
Leap of faith, no plan B.
Yeah.
Be a singer. Mark Wills, everybody. That's right.
It is what it is.
It was 19-something. See what I did there?
Nice play on words.
When Grandel, I remember Mark Wills. He went from singing there, of course, what we were talking about in Atlanta, Remember the buckboard?
Yeah.
I was doing a little bit of research on you about the buckboard, and then he released his first of 19 Billboard chart singles. So 19 out of 7 albums, y'all. That is great success right there. ACM Top New Male Vocalist right over here, 1998, and the Gold Certified 19-something. How was you finding the songs when you got your record deal, and how does that all work?
Well, the beautiful thing about Nashville back in the early 90s up through, probably the early 2000s was that so many great songwriters called this town home. And I was very fortunate to meet a guy by the name of Jeff Carlton. And Jeff ran Stradivarius Publishing Company. That's James Stroud's publishing company. And so we got to be friends, and he started sort of working with me on my career. And I would drive to Nashville on, I would sing Tuesday through Saturday, and then I would get up on Sunday, and Kelly and I would drive to Nashville, and we'd spend the night at the Shoney's Inn over on Demon Brewing, which is actually pronounced Demumbrian, but I didn't know that at the time. It just looked like Demon Brewing. So we'd spend the night over there, and I'd go into the studio. I'd go over to County Q and record demos, and sing demos and stuff like that. And that's how a lot of those songs, that's where I found Jacob's Ladder. That's where I found my very first top 5 record. I sang the demo on it. And I would sing demos for different songwriters and stuff like that. And that sort of got me kind of in their line, and they would pitch me songs. And that's where a lot of those songs came from. Especially that's where the majority of that first record came from, was just finding those demos, finding those songs that I love so much, and deciding, hey, if I'm ever fortunate enough to get a record deal, I want to record that song.
Jacob's Ladder, we got introduced to you.
Yeah.
I did with Jacob's Ladder. And then, of course, we're going on to Places I've Never Been.
Yep.
I Do, Cherish You, Don't Laugh at Me. Oh,
Yep.
my goodness. And, of course, #1 single, Wish You Were Here, which that song has just been tremendous to families with broken hearts that
Absolutely.
have lost loved ones.
Yeah.
What is your experience with that song?
Oh, there's a plethora of stories that go along with several of those songs. I mean, Don't Laugh at Me is kind of one of those songs as well that so many people related to that song. So many people shared stories about that song. Wish You Were Here is kind of the same way. I mean, multiple times people would come up and talk about, not necessarily from the loss of a plane crash or something like that, just the loss of a loved one. And they would talk about how that song had impacted them, how it had helped them through a rough time or something. And and back in the day when people wrote letters to your fan club and stuff like that, I literally had books of letters where people would share their stories about Wish You Were Here. And that's a great Bill Anderson song. I mean, that's a true testament to great songwriting. You had people, that song was written by Skip Ewing, Debbie Moore, and Bill Anderson. And I get to share the Grand Ole Opry stage many times with Songwriter Hall of Fame, Grand Ole Opry member Bill Anderson. That's awesome for me. I love that.
You became a member of the Grand Ole Opry in 2019.
I did. I'm one of the newer members of the Opry.
Yeah, January 2019. Let's go back, talk about your very first experience on that hollowed stage.
That lady right there, who's on the phone. She was the one. The very first time I walked into the Grand Ole Opry, Jeannie Seeley was the one that introduced me. She was doing the pre-show, what they used to do backstage, like Opry backstage, and we visited that night, and then to me it's kind of a full circle moment. We were just over there with May, who made her Opry debut tonight. And I was telling her, Jeannie and I were talking, and I said, I get teary-eyed. I truly get teary-eyed when people are making their Opry debut, that they love the Opry so much. Because that night when I made my Opry debut, I was nervous as a long-tailed cat in a room full of rocking chairs. I was so scared to sing on that stage that I don't remember much about it. I remember Jeannie sort of making me feel at home and introducing me and me walking out and singing Jacob's Ladder. And that's truly one of the greatest nights that I don't remember much about, because it started me down that road of really truly appreciating the Opry and kind of having a different appreciation for it, not from a fan perspective on the outside, but from somebody sort of on the inside, and getting to see how the inner workings and all that kind of stuff. And then to fast forward 20 years and to get to become a member of the Grand Ole Opry and get to call that home for the rest of my life. That's an awesome feeling. It truly is.
Who did your induction?
Huh?
Who inducted you into the Grand Ole Opry?
So Vince Gill asked me to be a member, and then they asked me who I wanted to be a part of my induction ceremony. And so that night, Jeannie Seeley, because she had introduced me the very first time I was on the Opry, introduced me that night to be on the Opry. And at the time, Ronnie Millsap was going to be the one who inducted me into the Opry. And Ronnie got sick, and so my friend Craig Morgan came. Craig was out of town. He was somewhere 8 or 9 hours away, and he got it. He had his bus come pick him up. He got on the bus, rode all night long, came to the Opry, and inducted me, and then got back on the bus and went back to where he was to finish whatever he was doing.
Because he loves you like we love you.
Well,
and you're such a great, warm addition to see in the hallways. You're part of the fabric of the Grand Ole Opry. When I see your name on the schedule and on the list, I'm like, yeah, it's going to be a good time tonight.
Well, I like
make it fun.
I like to welcome people. I was welcomed by so many of the greats. I remember, we've talked about Jeannie many times, but little Jimmy Dickens was always somebody, I'm gonna tell something. I'm gonna tell something that I maybe shouldn't tell. But Jeannie always would come welcome me. Little Jimmy would always walk by and go, "Hey." But if my daughters were there, he would always come into the dressing room and talk to my kids. He loved my girls. So I got to be friends with little Jimmy. Jim Ed Brown, same way. Jim Ed would always walk by, and he would always come in and welcome me to the family. I didn't get to spend a lot of time there when Porter was still around, but Porter would always welcome me into the Opry. And I think to me that's the beautiful thing about the Opry, that is a family, and we all root for each other. I mean, there's nothing in my world, there's nothing that would make me happier in my world than Jeannie Seeley being in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And that has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with the fact that she is more deserving than probably anybody I know to be in the Country Music Hall of Fame. And that's what family does. Family roots for each other. We want the best for our friends. We want the best for our family. And so that's what makes me so proud to be a Grand Ole Opry member. I love to. There's nothing like walking on that stage, and that's what we were talking about originally, was that May made her Opry debut tonight, and there's nothing like being there and seeing somebody walk on that stage for the very first time, and they have tears in their eyes because they're so excited to be there. That's the coolest feeling in the world.
Yeah, they really get it.
Absolutely,
they really get it. Do we have any veterans in the audience? If we do, please stand. Let us recognize you. Our veterans, past, present, our veterans in the audience tonight.
Thank
we
you,
have
sir.
a full house. Thank you, what you do, what you continue to do. Mark here has taken many trips overseas, performing and entertaining for our troops. Iraq, Kuwait, Afghanistan, Korea, Italy. I mean, the list goes on and on.
I had to do one of the hardest trips that I ever had to do was to Hawaii. That was sarcasm, by the way. Yeah, we've done some really cool trips. My favorites, my all-time favorites were the trips to Iraq and Afghanistan and Kuwait during enduring freedom and the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. But we've been very fortunate to get to travel to Italy. We've got to travel to Korea. We got to travel to Japan. We got to travel to Hawaii. We got we've got to make a lot of trips and all of those to support our men and women in uniform. And that's been and most of those, a lot of those, I got to take the guys in the band. And that was really cool for them to get to experience that as well, to go to, to parts of the world that you would never get to go to entertain our men and women of the armed services.
Thank you so much for your heart and dedication.
Absolutely.
In entertaining our troops.
It was as much my honor as it was anything else to be able to have that opportunity to go and entertain them.
You mentioned Tommy White a little bit earlier.
Yeah, look at that handsome devil over there on the steel guitar.
Tell us who all will be performing with you tonight.
So I'm sorry?
Who's in the band?
Who's in the band? Well, so I guess longest, Alex, you've been there the longest. Alex has been with me 240 years. Alex plays bass guitar, sings background vocals. Next to the longest is Bryce, but I'm not sure because we got one guy that's back with us. So that's Bryce Williams on the drums. Y'all say hello to him. On the piano, he was with me for the better part of, 10 or 12 years. And then he came off the road to raise his family. And then when our piano player, who had been with us for about 12 years, when he had to leave for some family issues, we brought Jeff back out with us. So that's Jeff Hazard on the piano. Y'all say hello to him. He's back with us. On the far side of the stage with the highest hair in the building. He is relatively the newest guy in the band, and he's been here 8 years? So Jason, that's Jason Barlow playing everything with strings on it and singing background vocals. And of course, Tommy White right next to him, who is Steel Guitar Hall of Fame, Grand Ole Opry Band, plays with us out on the road. And last but certainly not least, the only ball cap on the stage who happens to be a newly married man. Did Miss Taylor make it with us out here tonight? Is she here? Hello, Taylor. So that is Johnny Myers on electric guitar. So y'all say hello to him and his lovely bride, Taylor, sitting over there. So yeah, we're about ready to. I'm about ready to play some music. I don't know.
Well, friends,
I don't know how much longer you have to talk to me.
I want to tell the friends on the radio listening in that if they're not here tonight, but they can catch you in Spring, Texas, April 1st.
Yeah.
And then April 8th, this guy's having a birthday. He'll be celebrating his birthday. How are you going to party? Celebrate.
I'm going to do the same thing I do every year because I'm not a drinker. I'm going to go find the best steak I can find.
Yeah.
That's how we like to celebrate.
Lawrence, Ohio, August 11th. You can find out all the information at markwills.com.
Yep.
We have Fanfare.
CMA Fest?
CMA Music Fest.
Yeah, I still call it Fanfare, too.
Yeah,
it is still Fanfare to me.
June 3rd, on a Thursday, Opry Studio B. It is a fan club party, okay?
Yeah.
So go to markwills.com. If you're not a member yet, be a member of the fan club and join him for CMA Music Fest Fanfare, June 3rd at the Opry. Follow on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Spotify, and iTunes. And let me tell you, Mark is very active on social media, so it's quite interesting and entertaining.
Yeah. Just make sure you follow the official Mark Wills Music and not any of the other fake accounts.
Thank you for reminding us that. Yes. One thing in life that makes you happy?
One thing in life that makes me happy?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's kind of a trick question, but I am officially a grandpa.
Congratulations.
But But I refuse to be called Grandpa.
So what are you?
Because my mom and dad, my dad's still alive, so he's Papa, and I figured I would always be Papa, but I'm gonna go by Dude. because my son-in-law calls me Dude and I call him Dude. So it's kind of like there's a long story that goes along with that, but I'm hoping that I call my grandson, I call him Little Dude. So I'll be Big Dude and he'll be Little Dude.
I love it.
Until he outgrows me, and then I don't know what we'll end up calling that. But
What is something that you've had to overcome in the music business that you would like to share? The struggles, everything has changed recently, obviously, in the music business, but what did you have to overcome in the music business? You know,
I think the thing for me in the music business, and what I tell new artists in today's world is just know who you are. You know, so often when you sign a record deal or when you sign a publishing deal or whatever, they start trying to tell you what songs you should write or what songs you should sing or what songs you should put on a record. And I tell new artists, I tell them this all the time. They can say what they want to, but you have to be the one that's got to sing that for the rest of your career. So make sure that you know who you are and be confident in that and say no. Say no when they try to push you in a direction of doing something that you don't want to do. Like, you know, every song that I ever recorded, I went into going, hey, this could be fun. This would be fun to do in the show, or and by saying that, I mean, like we had songs that were big country hit records and then became pop hits because they were great songs. We only actually re-recorded one song. That was Back at One. Everything else that we did was our stuff originally. And and so I'm completely confident in the music that I recorded. And I can look back on my career and say I didn't do anything that I really didn't want to do. And that's what I tell people. Be confident in who you are and go with it from that perspective.
Mark Wills, everybody. We love you. My love to Kelly, your girls.
I will.
And Little Dude.
Little Dude, I will.
We love you.
I will. So is somebody else coming in and I'm going to go put my earbuds on and then go sing a little bit?
That's it.
Perfect.
We'll
All
see
right.
you at the stage.
Absolutely. Thank y'all for coming out tonight.
The Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree, it's been an honor to be with you as your host for the warm-up show. I'm Marcia Campbell, and I wish you enough. Thank you to our friends Mark Wills and Ernest Tubb III for visiting us on the warm-up show. And again, a special thank you to Ernest Tubb III, Rodney Collins, Jeannie Seeley, David McCormick for keeping the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree tradition going for over 75 years. Thank you to our audience. Thank you for enjoying the music. And of course, thank you for being here at the Troubadour Theater. And of course, our listeners at 650 AM WSM and around the world at WSMonline.com. Good night and Godspeed. Let's go center stage for the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree with Grand Ole Opry star Mark Wills.
From the Ernest Tubb Record Shop on Music Valley Drive, this is the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree.
I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying that my heart breaks right through. Walking the floor over you.
Jacob was a dirt poor farm boy, raised at the fork in the road in a clapboard house. Rachel was a land baron's daughter, born with a silver spoon in her mouth. Daddy said he wouldn't stand for Rachel to waste her life with a common man. He tried hard to keep them apart, but you can't draw lines to any young girl's heart. So late one night by the harvest moon, Jacob climbed a ladder up to Rachel's room. He knew his place, it was right beside her. Step by step to her world, head over heels for a brown-eyed girl. And getting caught didn't seem to matter, 'cause heaven was waiting at the top of Jacob's ladder. September since your daddy found a ladder and a note on her windowsill. Swore he'd never forgive them. Nothing melts a heart like a grandchild will. She climbs up on his knee, says, "Grandpa, tell a story, the one about me." He thinks back in his eyes shine, says, "Listen, child, once upon a time, late one night by the harvest moon, your daddy climbed a ladder to your mama's room. He knew his place, it was right beside her. Step by step to her world, head over heels from a little girl. And here you are, that's all that matters. 'Cause heaven was waiting at the top of Jacob's ladder. Well, an angel was waiting at the top of Jacob's ladder. Every road that I've been down in my whole life has had its share of twists and turns. It's been a long, wild ride. I took a lot of crap, but I took it all in stride. I'm still running. Hey! I've learned to sleep at night with all of my regrets. They could have been, should have been, and not quite yet. I just played the cards I'm down, place my bet, take your asking. Here we go. I'm not sorry for the way I wound up where I am. I'm not sorry to the people who said I'd never last. Let the critics criticize, I won't apologize. There's a lot of things I've changed, but I'm not sorry. Every stupid thing I did that knocked me on my back, it's just another lesson learned. the boys in the band up here to you, but we're going to do it one more time. This gentleman right here, we're going to start off to my left. Well, not Tommy. We're going to showcase him on the fiddle, but he plays everything with strings on it. He sings background vocals with us. Y'all do me a favor, give a big Nashville welcome right here to Jason Barlow. My baby gets me shaking. She's got a way of making me feel like I'm still 17. She gets me high, she gets me low, and in between. Blue eyes, she's got legs on the bottom. She tippy-toe right out of a dream. She's got me high, she's got me low, and in between. I'm higher than a flag on the 4th of July. Low down love, and she's the reason why. She gets a hold of me and takes complete control of me, if you know what I mean. Baby's got me high, low, and in between. Now baby's got the kind of cash you can start a fire with. She don't need no gasoline. I'm burning high, I'm burning low, and in between. I find her on the 2nd floor and chase her through the cellar door and catch her by the washing machine. She takes me high, she takes me low, and in between. I'm higher than a flag on the 4th of July. Low down love, and she's the reason why. She gets a hold of me and takes complete control of me, if you know what I mean. Baby's got me high, low, and in between. Come on. I'm higher than a flag on the 4th of July. Low down love, and she's the reason why. She gets a hold of me and takes complete control of me, if you know what I mean. Baby's got me high, low, and in between. Baby's got me high, low, and in between. She's got it high, she's got me low, and in between. Are you having fun so far? Well, this is where the fun starts for me, because we decided when we decided we were going to come over here and play the Midnite Jamboree, we got to talking about a bunch of songs that we never got to sing in our live show, mainly because they weren't my songs, and I love good old country music. Do we have any country music fans in here with us tonight? Well, if you're not a country music fan, now's probably when you want to leave, because it's about to get country. I grew up a child of. I was born in '73, but I started cutting my musical teeth in about 1980, and one of my biggest influences throughout my career was a guy that we lost in 1989. Do we have any Keith Whitley fans in here with us tonight? Well, Well, so what we're going to do tonight, we're going to play you a few songs. Now, if you're a true Keith Whitley fan, you will recognize this song as being a Keith Whitley song. If you're a little bit younger than I am, do we have any George Strait fans in the house with us tonight? You'll probably recognize this as a George Strait song, but it's a Keith Whitley song first. So we're going to play you a few of those tonight. We're going to play you some of the great country music that I cut my teeth on. This one being one of those songs right here. And we're going to feature Mr. Tommy White on the steel guitar kicking this one off. See if y'all remember this one right here.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I burn with desire each time my heart fans the fire to that old flame that burns inside of me. She tried when I left her, now I cry to forget her. Oh, how foolish I was to ever want to leave. Nobody in his right mind would have left her. I had to be crazy to say goodbye. Nobody in his right mind would have left her. Even my heart was smart enough to stay behind. I still carry her picture. I wish her well with the new love I know she's found by now. Each night finds me dreaming, each day I spend thinking how much I wish she was still around. Nobody in his right mind would have left her. I had to be crazy to say goodbye. Nobody in his right mind would have left her. Even my heart was smart enough to stay behind. Even my heart was smart enough to stay behind. So did you like that? Well, then you can stay, because there's a whole lot more of stuff like that coming up right now. We figure you can come to a Mark Will show and hear Mark Will songs anytime, so if it's all right with y'all, we're just going to play the songs we want to play tonight, if that's okay. All right. So we're going to feature our piano player on this one right here. Did Miss Karen make it out here with you tonight? Is she here? All right. Well, this, like I said, Jeff played with us on the road for many, many years, and is just sort of coming back and helping us out, kind of filling those shoes again. And he and I both were huge fans of this next guy. And if you come see us at the Opry on March 25th, we are going to be paying tribute to him that night because it will be his 80th birthday. Do we have any Ronnie Millsap fans in the house with us tonight? I love my way from LA back to Knoxville. I found out those bright lights sink where I belong. From a phone booth in the rain, I called to tell her I've had a change of dreams, I'm coming home. Tears filled my eyes when I found out she was gone. Smoky Mountain rain keeps on falling. Keep on calling her name. Smoky Mountain rain, I'll keep on searching. Can't go on hurting this way. She's somewhere in the Smoky Mountain rain. I waved a piece on down outside a cafe. Said he was gone as far as Gatlinburg. I climbed up in the cab all wet and cold and lonely. I wiped my eyes and told him about her. I've got to find her. Can you make these big wheels burn? Smoky Mountain rain keeps on falling. I keep on calling her name. Smoky Mountain rain, I'll keep on searching. Can't go on hurting this way. She's somewhere in the Smoky Mountain rain. I can't blame her for letting go. A woman needs someone warm to hold. I feel the rain running down my face. I'll find her no matter what it takes. Smoky Mountain rain, I'll keep on searching. Can't go on hurting this way. Smoky Mountain rain, I'll keep on searching. Can't go on hurting this way. She's somewhere in the Smoky Mountain rain.
Yeah.
How many drinkers do we have out here with us tonight? This is one of those you need to drink on. This is a great old Lefty Frizzell song that Keith Whitley recorded, and somebody asked me a minute ago. They were at the Daryl Singletary show that we did a couple weeks ago in tribute to Daryl, and they said, I said, hey, we came to the show last week or a couple weeks ago, and you sang one of my favorite old songs, and is there any chance you'd sing it tonight? And I said, nope, we're not going to sing it tonight. Well, I lied to you. Here it is. I can't stand to see a good man go to waste. One who never combs his hair or shaves his face. A man who leans on wine over love that's told a lie. Lord, it tears me up to see a grown man cry. So I never go around mirrors. I can't stand to see me without you by my side. No, I never go around mirrors because I got a heartache to hide. Tommy White. I can't stand to be where heartaches hang around. It's so easy for the blues to get me down. To see a grown man crawl is more than I can stand. I can't look into the eyes of half a man. So I never go around mirrors. I can't stand to see me without you by my side. No, I never go around mirrors because I got a heartache to hide. And it tears me up to see a grown man cry. Oh, thank y'all. So do we want to keep following the set list, or we want to take a complete right turn and go off? You do you. Where are we going? Let's do Alabama. Okay. What? So do you want us to go the set list, or you want us to just take a right turn and do whatever the hell we want to do? Fair enough. I'm going to announce something that I'm not supposed to announce, but I don't care. I got one of the coolest text messages I've ever had in my life this week. I'm looking at, where's my manager? Is he in here? Where's he at? Where's he at? Where's he, downstairs? Well, if I can't see him, then he can't tell me no. Okay, fair enough. So how many of you remember the June Jam, the Alabama June Jam? Me too. I was always disappointed that when my career got started back in 1996, that the very last June Jam that they did was in 1995. I never got to play the June Jam. And so they announced that this year, after 26 years of not having a June Jam, they're going to have it. And I got a text message 2 days ago from Randy Owen saying, hey, you want to be part of the June Jam? My immediate response was, hell yeah, I do. Do we have any Alabama fans in the house with us tonight? Here we go. The closer you get, the further I fall. I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with no time to stall. The closer you get, the further I fall. Yeah, boy. Could I be dreaming? Is this really real? Is there something magic? The way that I feel in your arms tonight. The closer you get, the further I fall. I'll be over the edge now in no time at all. I'm falling faster and faster and faster with no time to stall. The closer you get, the further I fall. Roll down a backwoods Tennessee byway, one arm on the wheel, holding my lover with the other, a sweet, soft southern thrill. I worked hard all week, got a little jingle on a Tennessee Saturday night. Couldn't feel better, I'm together with my Dixieland delight. Here we go! Spend my dollar, parked in a holler neath the mountain moonlight. Hold her up tight, make a little loving, little turn loving on a Mason-Dixon night. Fits my life, oh so right. I Dixieland delight. Johnny Marr! Roll on highway, roll on along, roll on daddy till you get back home. Roll on family, roll on crew, roll on mama like I asked you to do. And roll on 18-wheeler, roll on. Roll on! It's Monday morning, he's kissing mama goodbye. He's up and gone with the sun. Daddy drives an 18-wheeler. He's off on a Midwest run. Three sad faces gather around mama. They ask her when Daddy's coming home. Daddy drives an 18-wheeler. They sure miss him when he's gone. Yeah, they do. They calls him every night and tells him that he loves them. He taught him the song just saying, roll on highway, roll on along, roll but the words just come in with a ringing at the telephone. Whoa, but the man upstairs was listening when Mama asked him to bring Daddy home. And when the call came in, it was Daddy on the other end, asking her if she had been singing a song. Come on, roll on highway, roll on along, roll on Daddy till you get back home. Roll on family, roll on crew, roll on Mama like I asked you to do. And roll on 18-wheeler, roll on. Roll on! 18-wheeler, 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 roll on. Jeannie still here? Miss Jeannie, I can't sing songs in your key, so I'm going to sing a song from one of your former duet partners that you spent a lot of time traveling with over the years, and I hope I do it justice. One of the coolest things when I first came to the Opry for the very first time was getting to see all the people that I had idolized as a kid and getting to make friends with. And this gentleman left us several years ago, but he was always very, very, very nice. And one of the strangest things, the most strangest phenomenons, was that he had dementia, and he couldn't remember, he couldn't remember your name, he couldn't remember a lot of stuff. But they would hand him the microphone, and he would walk out on stage and he would sing the Ever-Loving Fire out of the songs that he had made famous. So in a tribute to him, we're going to do one of my very favorite old Jack Green songs tonight, if that's all right with you guys. Is that okay? Tommy White, you got it, big boy. It's a 1-2. Well, somewhere there should be for all the world to see a statue of a fool made of stone. The image of slip through his hands, and then just let it stand there all alone. And there on his face, a golden tear should be placed to honor the million tears he's cried, and the hurt in his eyes would show, so everyone would know that concealed is a broken heart inside. So build me a statue, and I'll build it high, so that all can see. It inscribed the you don't like that, leave. Is it all right if we play one more of my favorite singer of all time? Is that okay? So, talked about this a little bit ago, but I'm a huge Keith Whitley fan. And I don't get to sing Whitley very often in our shows because we've, as Marcia and I were talking about during the pre-show, we have so many of our own hits that we don't get to throw very many of my favorite songs in the show. So we felt like it would be appropriate, since we're playing the Midnite Jamboree, if we got up here and just played some of those songs. So we're going to play you one more Keith Whitley song because we can and because it was free. Everybody talks about the California quakes, and the first time I ever felt the shake was in Miami. But Amy touched me, oh, it shook me. I told her I loved her and I wanted to stay. She said, be sure, and I'll call you in LA. Even in the taxi, I could hear my telephone ring, calling me from Miami. Miami, what took you so long? I thought you'd never call. Miami, Miami. Miami loves me after all. Now Amy just called and said, please come back. Said I'm on my way, I ain't even unpacked. I want you, I love you, that's all she had to say. Goodbye, LA. Now once again I'm Miami bound. Can't wait till this plane touches down, 'cause I know Miami will be waiting at that Miami gate. Oh, I can't wait. Miami, Miami. What took you so long? I thought you'd never call. Miami, Miami. Miami, Miami loves me after all. Oh, Miami, Miami loves me after all. So we lost one of my favorite singers during 2020, and I was honored when the family asked me to come, and I was the only artist to get to sing at his funeral. And that was a huge honor for me. And I'm not going to sing that song tonight, but we're going to sing one of my other favorites of him. Do you have any Joe Diffie fans in here with us tonight? Well, I got my first truck when I was 3. Drove 100,000 miles on my knees. All marbles and rocks, and thought twice before I hauled a Barbie doll bed for the girl next door. She tried to pay me with a kiss, and I began to understand there's something women like about a pickup man. When I turned 16 and saved a few $100, my first car was a pickup truck. I was cruising to town, and the first girl I seen was Bobby Joe Gentry, the homecoming queen. She flagged me down and climbed up in the cab and said, I never knew you were a pickup man. You can set my truck on fire and roll it down the hill, and I still wouldn't trade it for a coupe de ville. I got an 8-foot bed that never has to be made. You know, if it weren't for trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. I met all my wives in traffic jams. There's just something women like about a pickup man. Most Friday nights I can be found in the bed of my truck on an old Chase Lounge, backed into my spot at the drive-in show. You know, a cargo light gives off a romantic glow. I never have to wait in line at the popcorn stand, 'cause there's something women like about a pickup man. Well, you can set my truck on fire and roll it down the hill, and I still wouldn't trade it for a coupe de ville. I got an 8-foot bed that never has to be made. You know, if it weren't for trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. I met all my wives in traffic jams. There's just something women like about a pickup man. Oh, take it, Jake. Once around the block and you'll know what I mean. You can set my truck on fire and roll it down the hill, and I still wouldn't trade it for a coupe de ville. I got an 8-foot bed that never has to be made. You know, if it weren't for trucks, we wouldn't have tailgates. I met all my wives in traffic jams. There's just something women like about a pickup man. Yeah, there's something women like about a pickup man. Oh, yeah. Again, if you don't like that, I don't care. It's my favorite song to sing of mine, and we hadn't done very many of mine this evening. But I love this song. I have always loved this song. Back in the beginning, when I was a new artist, and we were picking great songs, I felt like I was picking great songs for my albums, and I remember having a conversation with the record company, and they were like, "Man, I'm not sure if we want you to sing songs like that or not." And I was like, "Man, how can you say that you don't want somebody to sing great songs?" And I'm not going to go into too much of the detail about that. I will just say that I won the battle, and we put this song out on the radio, and it was a #1 record for us. But more importantly than chart position or anything else is what this song was able to accomplish over the last 23 years. This song has continued to live its own life. It's continued to be a generational thing, and there are kids that are young kids that are hearing this song in elementary school and places like that their parents were young kids when this song came out. So Going to play you my favorite song I ever recorded, and I hope you guys like it. I hope you take the opportunity to listen to the words of this one because it's truly a great song. It's a timeless song. Listen to the words. I'm a little boy with glasses, the one they call a geek. A little girl who never smiles, 'cause I've got braces on my teeth. And I know how it feels to cry myself to sleep. I'm that kid on every playground who's always chosen last. A single teenage mother trying to overcome my past. You don't have to be my friend. Is it too much to ask? Don't laugh at me. Don't call me names. Don't get your pleasure from my pain. 'Cause in God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm the triple on the corner. You pass me on the street. I wouldn't be out here begging if I had enough to eat. Don't think I don't notice I rise never leave. I lost my wife and a little boy, and someone crossed that yellow line. The day we laid them in the ground is the day I lost my mind. Right now I'm down to holding this little cardboard sign. So don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. 'Cause in God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. I'm fat, I'm thin, I'm short, I'm tall, I'm deaf, I'm blind. Hey, aren't we all? So don't laugh at me, don't call me names, don't get your pleasure from my pain. 'Cause in God's eyes, we're all the same. Someday we'll all have perfect wings. Don't laugh at me. All right, you've been sitting long enough. Everybody up. This song right here spent 7 consecutive weeks at #1. It was the #1 played song of the year. We want to hear y'all singing along. Taking you back to 19-something. Well, I saw Star Wars the stuff they put inside. Stretch Armstrong, yeah. I was Roger Staubach in my backyard and a shoebox full of baseball cards, a couple of Evel Knievel scars on my right arm. I was a kid when Elvis died, and my mama cried. Here we go. It was 1970 something in the world that I grew up in. Farrah Fawcett hairdo days, nail bottles and 8-track tapes. And looking back now, I can see me. Oh man, did I look cheesy. I wouldn't trade those days for nothing. Y'all say. Shaved them old sideburns off. Took the stickers off of my Rubik's Cube and watched him TV all afternoon. My first love was Daisy Duke and them cut off jeans. Space shuttle fell out of the sky and the whole world cried. It was 1980 something in the world that I grew up in. Skating rinks and black Trans Ams, big hair, parachute pants. And looking back now, I can see me. Oh man, did I look cheesy. I wouldn't trade those days for nothing. Oh, it was 1980 something. Johnny! Jason! Mortgage and an SUV, and all this responsibility makes me wish. All right, Troubadour Theater, it's time for y'all to sing. Here we go. It was 1980 something. Skating rinks and black Trans Am. Looking back now, I can see me. I wouldn't trade those days for nothing. Yeah. It was 1980 something in the world that I grew up in. Skating rinks and black Trans Am, big hair, parachute pants. And looking back now, I can see me. Oh man, did I look cheesy. I wouldn't trade those days for nothing. Oh, it was 1980 something. 1970 something. Oh, it was 19 something. Thank you, Ken, for coming out to the Troubadour Theater. We hope you had a good time at the Midnite Jamboree on electric guitar. Johnny Meyer. On the piano, Jeff Hazard. Back on the drums, Bryce Williams. On the bass guitar and background vocals, Mr. Alex Stevens. Playing everything with strings on it and singing background vocals, Mr. Jason Barlow. And on the pedal steel guitar from the Grand Ole Opry Band, Steel Hall of Famer, Mr. Tommy White. Wild Bill back on the board. Thank y'all very much for coming out. We hope you had a good time. We hope to see you again here in Music City. And as we end every show, whether it be here or anywhere else, God bless every man and woman that wears the uniform of the United States. Good night to you.
Speaking on behalf of Texas Troubadour, David McCormick, Harold Henson, all the folks here at the shop, saying be better to your neighbors and you're going to have better neighbors. Doggone yeah.
I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor over you. You left me and you went away. You said that you'd be back in just a day. You broke in your promise and you left me here alone. I don't know why you did, dear, but I do know that you'll go. I'm walking the floor over you. I can't sleep a wink, that is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor over you. Oh, Pete and Lynn.
We hope you enjoyed listening to the classic sounds of the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree on 650 AM WSM and WSMOnline.com. We are so excited that the Midnight Jamboree live tapings have returned. Please join us at the Troubadour Theater in Music Valley Drive for the warm-up show, followed by a live taping of the Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree. Details for the upcoming events can be found on the Troubadour's Facebook page. I'm Marcia Campbell. Have a great night. Godspeed, my friend. And as E.T. would say, be better to your neighbors, and you'll have better neighbors.
That is true. I'm hoping and I'm praying as my heart breaks right in two. Walking the floor over you.
The Ernest Tubb Midnite Jamboree is produced through the facilities of Ernest Tubb Record Shop Incorporated and the Texas Troubadour Theater in Nashville, Tennessee. This program is intended for the private use of our listening audience. Any recording, rebroadcast, or other public display without the prior written consent of Ernest Tubb Record Shops Incorporated is strictly prohibited. This is The Legend, 650 AM WSM, Nashville, Tennessee.